Hey there, it's Mary for your Tip Tuesday. Okay, so today's tip is a bit of a repeat, but it comes out of the many questions that I get and the challenge. One of the biggest challenges that most of you are telling me that you're faced with. And so I want to make sure that I address that. We talk about meal planning. Meal planning and meal prep are really, really critical because if you don't get the nutrition piece right, you can't outwork out a poor diet. We've talked about that. So we need to make sure that you're eating clean 80, 85, 90% of the time. Doesn't have to be perfect, doesn't have to be 100%, but it does definitely need to be the majority of the time. And so the challenge that you guys are having is you're telling me that it is just way too difficult for you to do a session, a meal prep session, or a meal planning session once a week to figure out what you're going to eat for the week and to prepare a lot of stuff ahead of time. Well, I have great news for you. You don't have to do it that way. I always tell people, and I'm sure there's more options than this, but I always tell you that you have really two great suggestions for planning ahead with your meals and making sure you're making good, healthy choices. One is to do a meal planning, meal prep session. A lot of people do it on Sundays. Doesn't have to be Sundays, but it kind of makes sense for most people because they're planning out their lunches and their dinners and their snacks or whatever for the whole week. But what I will tell you is that you don't have to do it that way. The second suggestion I usually make is every single time you cook a meal, make extra servings. That is not extra work for you. You are already making chicken breast, let's say. How much harder is it to make 6 chicken breasts instead of the 4 you're going to make for the dinner for your family? Then you have 2 extra chicken breasts that you can use to throw on top of a salad or just eat on a plate for an extra meal. How much harder is it to make 6 cups of broccoli and not just 4? How much harder is it to make? You get the point. So if you don't want to do the big old sit down 1 hour, 2 hour meal plan, meal prep for the week, you don't have to. Just make extra servings at every single meal so that you can use those extra servings for future meals. That's your Tip Tuesday. I hope it helps, and I will see you guys next week.